Hey, welcome to the DBB channel, and today we have a struggle battle. It's just going to be a Tanjiro mirror actually. So Tanjiro actually received support, or rather Demon Slayer received their support at the end of the May, and I would say Yellow definitely get the better of the support, I would say, because they do have the new Nezuko. And of course, he plays it down here. It's just a simple draw one, discard one, but you have no idea how much consistency that really adds to the deck. And we do see him actually playing down the foul set Nezuko into the front row as well. And let's not forget about the new color Tanjiro that was introduced into this deck, which really helps this deck, you know, to be so much formidable than it really is. And we see him actually calling down the step Tanjiro, really expecting that early game aggression for the Nezuko's, because at that point of time, like what he's going to do now is going to push out the Nezuko and just going to play down more bodies behind, and actually he does play the Obanai, which is basically the Snake Hashira, mainly for the stats and of course the good trigger, and we do see him actually hitting 1 damage successfully because of that, Tanjiro in the front line. Now we do have 3 AP finally for the right player here, and he does actually step back thanks to Tanjiro's effect. Now he does have 3 energy to work with, so it does really help in terms of the early aggression deterrence. And now he does play down the foul set Tanjiro. It's going to go for that new color trigger Tanjiro, alright, and he's going to go for the final as well, really setting up their bodies in the front row, preventing the aggression. And we do see him just calling down 3 4Ks Tanjiros in the front line. Really very simple, but it's enough to deter from the left player from attacking. So left player definitely do have to build up his energy line currently, as he does play down the Nezuko in the back line, as well as the new Tamayo. Now Tamayo is very interesting because it's a double energy and it really counters Muzan. But Muzan is not actually very popular in the struggle, I'll be honest. And we do see him actually calling down the Tanjiro color, resting the Nezuko and as good as active, and does hit into the no trigger foul set Tanjiro. So a very successful hit, and even though he does set up 3 4K's body into the front line, a damage still go through, so it's very unfortunate for the right player. He does go for the Nezuko here, actually he does minusing 1k on the Tanjiro, and it's actually very important because it being at 3k now, it allows him to actually hit over with the Nezuko in the following turn. So Nezuko will swap with the Nezuko in front, and because the Nezuko was swapped in front, the Tanjiro from the backline is able to give that 1k to her, making it a 3k attacker. So we currently have 4 attacks that will go through successfully. If there's no special or active trigger like that, he's going to just start eating the first one here. Does eat into the Nezuko draw trigger, just draw 1 here, and we do see him actually swinging the Tanjiro color. Tanjiro color will hit into a final, nothing much there, and we're going to swing with another Tanjiro color here. It's going to eat 1 more instead of guarding already. It does hit into the Snake Hashira, drawing 1. I think last one is going to block it with the Nezuko. He does do it. And I would say the Tanjiro is very value, I would say, because I mean the new color does help the whole deck, but the old SRs is where it's at, and we're going to see the new SR coming into play already thanks to the left player, as he does go for the Nezuko from the SR on the first set actually, and this allows him to do multi-battle, and we do see a final straight away as he does go for the ST Tanjiro. And the ST Tanjiro is just a very simple card. As long as you have a Nezuko on the field and the turn you play it, you do have plus 500 and you do gain impact 1 until end of the opponent's turn. So that 4.5k is definitely very good in a mirror matchup, and we do see him successfully swinging the first attack. The second attack is going to be immediately block the Nezuko here, and the Nezuko from the red is going to push out the Tanjiro to the back line and push out the Snake Hashira to the front line. And thanks to the Tanjiro does give 1k, but however, you know, the 1k is not enough to hit over those 4k bodies that the right player has successfully played in the first 3 AP turn. And we do see the second, or I say the second attack swing going through thanks to Nezuko. The Snake Hashira will swing, and the second one will be blocked by Nezuko, and Nezuko just use it to swap back the Tanjiro to the back line. And he does hesitate because, you know, if you swap out the Tamayo in front, you're losing a bunch of energy, so he decided to just swap the color behind. Now, the color does protect your Nezukos in the battle, but only during your own turn. So putting it behind is definitely very smart because the ST Tanjiro here is over 4.5k body, so you don't really want it in the back line. It's going to successfully swing, or rather block an attack in the upcoming turn. So it's going to swing first with one of the 4Ks here, and it's going to be successfully blocked by the 4.5k Tanjiro. Pretty good stuff. It's going to swing at the security, not security live, hitting to a special, immediately killing off that new fresh raided Tanjiro, and yeah, this basically just ends the turn right there because you know that special is just too good. Let's go for the AP draw on here, and he's gonna most likely push out the color Tanjiro as he does so here, and it's gonna have very good multiple swings. But the only problem I could see now is that the backline is looking a bit weak here because the Nezuko does need targets in the energy line that is active, that's ready to swing at life. The first color will swing and we do see into a special. However, we do suddenly remember of the color Tanjiro here as he does kill off the other Tanjiro instead of the Nezuko's, and Nezuko's will of course start swinging or rather continue swinging for the extra attacks. He's gonna swing here for 4k, pushing down one of the Tanjiros to another Tanjiro, and this Tanjiro will actually be a 4k attacker. So pretty good stuff, but however, the second Nezuko swing will be the one that is a bit weaker because there's not much targets to swap. Does hit into a step, giving active trigger to the one of the color Tanjiros. Just gonna swap the double energy back, you know, and then of course swapping the color in front most likely, and he might actually consider swapping the step instead because at this point of the game, you do really want just going to drop some bodies to guard against your opponent, and the better targets is going to be in the back row for you to actually swing at your opponent. And your opponent is actually at 1 life already, but he does have the old SR Tanjiro, which is very valuable as he does able to play a Nezuko from the drop zone. You can actually take 1 card back first and then play it, so you can actually take back the raid. And then of course he's gonna raid for a second one, and so just allow him to summon 1 more Nezuko. But very unfortunate for the right player, as you guys have noticed, he doesn't have the sister Nezuko raid. The Nezuko raid is really what really helps you to do multi-battles, but however, you cannot deny that the bot state for the right player is just looking too good with all the Tanjiros swinging at the life. Now, he does, for the left player, he actually does block successfully against the opponent because the last 2 swing will be an impact 1, so he definitely have to guard the first 2 attack. And we do see him actually hitting to a Tanjiro raid here, and if you raid it, you're going to be a successful 4.5k beater, and of course able to guard the last attack, but however you are risking away your impact 1, so he does go for the raid anyway to actually block off the last attack, and will he actually draw into impact 1 game, and he does draw into the SR here, the old set SR, which allows him to have an impact 1. Let's go for the AP draw, actually drawing into Nezuko, straight away going for that color in front, and I would say there's a much more efficient play later that I'll be describing to you guys, as he does go for the Tanjiro raid again, you know, with the impact 1. Gonna play 1 Nezuko to the back line here, so just play one of the -1k, but it don't really matter for this turn specifically because all of them is gonna hit through anyway. You're gonna see the color swinging first because you do really want to leave the impact 1 swing at the last life so that opponent doesn't hit into a final and then just start leaving from there, and a comeback can be real from there. So you do see him actually start swinging first, and you're gonna see the right opponent just dropping bodies. Gonna swing that Nezuko. Gonna push back one of the Tanjiros and pushing up that Tamayo. Not gonna do too much because the last attack will be blocked. But however, if I were to explain to you the later better efficient play, there will be 2 Nezuko swings instead, and there will be 6 attacks this turn instead of 5. So we do want to see him swing for the last life here, and then of course, I don't think there will be a final, and he does hit into nothing here, and this will be game for the left player because obviously Sister Nezuko is very good. Introducing the segment of a more efficient play. So in the left player last turn, I personally believe there can be a much more efficient play. So what's the play? So this is the fuel and the energy as well as the hand as well as the action point left for him. So simply do not move anything to the front line, you raid the Tanjiro instead to call Nezuko from a drop zone, making sure that you do have a Nezuko in the back line. Afterwards, you go for the Nezuko raid, and in the front line, you will have 2 Tanjiro 4Ks with 1 impact 1, 2 Nezukos to multi-battle with, and also 2 standing unit at the back to have yourself 6 attacks in the last final turn. So that will be the more efficient play. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.